just a mother who's concerned about a Zambian child. So many children are stunted, malnourished. What can I do? What should I do to prevent my child from malnutrition?
As a pregnant woman, you've gotta eat right. When the baby's born, breastfeed it and feed it.
2-year-old Namakao lives in Mumbwa in Chief Mumba's area. She has 3 siblings and they all go to school. Only time will tell whether Namakao will ever go to school. Namakao is malnourished and she has this cough which doesn't seem to end. Namakao, like other children her age, want to run around and play each time day breaks, but she can't. Her constant cough tires her, coupled with her malnourished condition. As a result, she's always strapped on her mother's back, Nasilele, not her real name, as she gets ready to start the day. Nasilele ensures her children and baby Namakao have something to eat in the very early part of the morning. They are also joined by other members of her extended family on what seems to be a chilly morning. Namakao is among the hundreds of children suffering from malnutrition, which is closely linked to stunted growth. Her mother, Nasilele, who seemed rather shy on camera, gave an idea on what she goes through on a daily basis to ensure her children have a meal.
Tukauka timapyanga panja kusiza kutapa manzi suka mbale ndiye kwenda kumanchita kuminda amaenda ku school. Pena ngo timazinga nayo usiku ngati kulibe.
Mama pasana ndio kwa?
Ndio avuta kuno marepu chewa sochera olobinzi so. Pantu tinabwa last year kuno. So sinalime mushe chifuka cha fertilizer. Nimampasa kwa pole janshaba. Karibe. Karibe mpasa kwa pole janshaba. Za kudia bwino vya kudia. Mama sanka manjio marepo ayakana. Kumwona kudia bwino paka che nsima ya binzi olonsomba soche. Manje vya veji vya makana. Pole jia unga che amadia kuma ya soya karibu kudia polo wani soya.
Chifuka.
Niliva maja 4 times. Kuseni mzuva na so afternoon na mazuru.
Okay.
Drama. Njia mine ivuda. Problem na njia yonse ivuda. Kuibiwa mine ba savings.
Kulima chabe.
Pamono. Manzi tibachosa kuboho uko ngutaliko but. Tuanyanga kuma 05.
Then mafika kutumi kitabu.
Kapela zuwa so. Antu nikutali. Kuchoka kono.
Kulibe kene kinango kono.
Kulibe. Waka kamile kuja.
The national picture is a source of concern not only to government but its partners as well. About 1 million children suffer from stunted malnutrition in Zambia. The causes of malnutrition in Zambia are many and are interlinked. They include poverty, not taking food in the right quantities, and general lack of knowledge on the right bodybuilding foods. Georgina Mulobela is a retired head teacher in Mumbwa and a specialist in home economics.
It is quite important because we are there teaching girls as they grow up how to look after their homes and how to teach people, even their neighbors in the villages, how to prepare some meals. Yes, when you talk about nutrition in faith, it doesn't necessarily eating chickens and meat every day, but we have got other things that we can do. Our emphasis, a woman should have a backyard garden. Yes, every time a woman should not go and buy vegetables or anything. So we have to bring up our own food. And in teaching that subject, it's really a challenge in the schools. Faith, I started as a primary school teacher. That time it was called domestic science. And now the challenge came about. Those people who were teaching domestic science at the school were regarded as though they were not educated by other teachers. They were that kind of mockery. And as a result, many people started now shunning it. When they went out for trainings, they changed their career. That it was even abandoned from 1980 something up to now. It is not well pronounced. It's only taught mainly at grade 8 and 9 level, which is a mistake. It's a very bad. It's a mistake. If those children knew how to prepare dishes and knew what type of meal could bring nutrition in their homes, I don't think malnutrition would have been the way it is now. It was going to be arrested, even a child who drops in grade 7.
For Mumbwa district, the problems are not exceptional. A visit to Kalisowe village reveals why the problem of malnutrition is rife in the area. This is the headman's wife, and she seems to be lamenting on the situation in Kalisowe area.
So ine Joyce moyo kuno ndine nimayangana z'abaana za nutrition kuno ndine TBA wakuno pa clinic ya Panarovu plus ndine wa PMTC. So kuno tili na vuto bana vakudya kulibe. So apa bana bamavutika bantu bena bamene bana kuka kuchoka mmalo wabo kubwera kuno side chifukwa cha manzi bena bazimayi sibadiko tubana tuna twamene muona pano mayi bawo naenda kumanzi kukafuna nsomba. So twakudya nikapezapo babwera kuno madamu twakudya nitowaya bana olotiba pereka ku chipimo under 5 majority ni underweight. Ero diarrhea manza amene tikumwa ni oyipa kuti tikuletereni pano awe mwandi mukayamikire chapati zakamwa kusogolo chifukwa tina nkumba pano wonse munzi lina nkumba na mbuzi na ng'ombe. So tikumwa pamozi na mbuzi na ng'ombe, boho ili kutali. So concerning bana kudya tavutika. Soya beans tinalesa kuti tilimeko ya NHC inalepera inasidira mu manzi. So chamene chiriko chabe pano tubana ni kuvutikira wakapeza kagaloni mugabana na banzako, ukagabana kagaloni mugabana na banzako. So tundio tunato taenda kupempa kuwena bamene bali manikutali kwa mne nachoka kuchitira kuti tianikeko maybe ntawe ya mvula pena tingapezeko chakudi. Ntawe zina timagonera mapopo twamene tuja mwayupa mapopo mwapika kwikapo sauti mwadi. So concerning bana shuwa awe bavutika si bana chabolo bakulu ni kutali pa clinic. So kuyenda bena bapapira munjere chifukwa kaendedo. So timavutika maningi kuno under 5. So pano nikamba pachinaiti zapasa vitamin A. So tipasa vitamin A ni kutali bana bena bambiri kwa mine bachoka. So kuti tikabalete kuja nikwenda mobilizing kungo bapemperera chikochi kuti bwerani tiende kwapasa vitamin A. So chabe so ni kuvutikira maningi concerning nutrition ya bana mwandini niyovuta.
Dr. Mafavu Kadube is District Director of Health in Mumbwa.
All right, our malnutrition status in Mumbai is just above the national average of 45. We are around 46% of stunting, as it were. And as regards the major causes of malnutrition in our district, I think maybe if we go back to the culture, our tradition is we are based on starch based. You know, we have maize as our main staple food, and then these other foods are not taken in the right quantities. We have our leafy vegetables, which we are taking at the moment, and there's been a loss in terms of the values that we have, the traditional values of food preservation, the issues of storage of food. That one is something that is no longer taking place in the district. I'm sure when you went round, you saw that there are very few maybe homes that are storing their foods. And by foods, we're not only talking about maize, we're talking about groundnuts, we're talking about preserved vegetables, tomatoes, and all those things. Those things are not there at the moment. And if you look at the other thing is our setup. Mumbai, the scattered settlement. We have some sort of a scattered settlement. I have my own theory for the scattered settlement, but I will not mention it here. But the major reason is a scattered settlement, hence we have a problem as regards the water and sanitation. Difficult to provide water. The boreholes are spaced apart because of the scattered settlement. The concept of a village here is not maybe as it is in other parts of the country. Here, a village can be a big area, about maybe 8 kilometers squared, 10 kilometers squared, with people settled within there on their own small patches of land, which are their farmland. If you look at eastern, southern, other parts of the country, people are settled in blocks, and it's a bit easier to provide water for those. So here, water is a big challenge, and we have high diarrheal diseases. Diarrhea comes in as the second highest in terms of disease burden after respiratory tract infections. So those are the challenges, and as a result, most of those will be children having the diarrheal diseases, and especially those between the ages of 1 and 3. And that is a critical stage where malnutrition or the nutritional status of a child is concerned.
Undernourished babies who make it through infancy often suffer stunting that cripples and shortens their lives. Subsequently, they transfer the broad economic disadvantages of malnutrition in their own lives to the next generation, perpetuating the vicious cycle of low human development and destitution. Zambia Civil Society Scaling Up Nutrition Alliance says it is working towards a Zambia where every child is assured of sufficient nutrition through strengthened policy.
So what we have done as a civil society is to come up with an agreed agenda for policy changes, and these are what we are calling the 10 key asks. One of the main issues that we are trying to ask is the issue of raising the political will to an extent such that we see nutrition interventions being implemented in Zambia. So having a political will means that we are going to have proper plans for nutrition, but also not just the plans, but trying to see these plans that are funded and also well implemented. That's one thing that we're trying to work for as civil society, but also trying to see to it that the place of the malnutrition fight is not located in one ministry, but rather located at a level of the vice president, such that the National Food and Nutrition Commission is going to have a lot of powers to cut across different ministries that are working on nutrition. As you might be aware, malnutrition is a cross-cutting issue. It doesn't just involve health, it involves agriculture, it involves education, it involves gender, among others.
The 1,000 days between a woman's pregnancy and her child's second birthday offer a unique window of opportunity to shape healthier, and more prosperous futures. The right nutrition during this 1,000-day window can have a profound impact on a child's ability to grow, learn, and rise out of poverty. This includes developing a child's cognitive and physical capacity and mitigating the risk of chronic diseases. After this point, child malnutrition is extremely difficult to change and may cause lifelong irreversible damage to a child's cognitive development and life's prospects. It is public information that government has made commitment to the fight against malnutrition at a very high level. Vice President Guy Scott made the commitment at the 2013 London Summit.
And we have left a number of issues. It's an integrated problem, of course. It's no good producing food if there isn't the money to buy it. If women are forced to pay money for the secondary education of their children, it reduces their ability to feed the children. And so everything needs to go along together. And we still have to resolve the human resource and financial gaps in the 5 key line ministries responsible, just simply for nutrition. We have to increase government expenditure, and we are aiming to reach an estimated additional $30 per child under 5 required to scale up high-impact nutrition interventions. That's as calculated by the World Bank. We will progressively match additional cooperating partners' resources through new and existing nutrition budget lines, and we will aim to increase our financial contributions by at least 20% annually for the next 10 years.
Malnutrition remains one of Africa's most pervasive problems, especially for women and children. Without addressing malnutrition, communities may not be able to achieve the MDGs, especially those related to health, hunger, and poverty. Future efforts will require ongoing commitment from government and its partners to a cause that will shape the future of the country.
Let's come together.